Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video, I will show you a simple example of fetching dynamic data from a REST API and showing it in the React.js application in the tabular structure using React Bootstrap. And for this purpose, we will be using an API called as JSONPlaceholder API. So you can see on your screen, whenever we load the application, we are fetching the top 50 posts from top 100 posts from this API and showing it in the table-like structure. It's a very simple application, and let me show you the API here. So if you just type on Google JSON placeholder, it's a fake REST API for developers for testing purposes. So this is the actual API we'll be using it, and we will be using fetch API to make the actual REST API call. So let me show you this example. So just make a simple functional component, React functional component. So after making this, we need to actually initialize the actual state variables which will be required for this application. So the first variable which will be required, it is required for keeping track of how many posts you want to display. So you will be using the useState hook. Initial value will be empty. The second variable which will be required for showing a simple loading progress bar. Again, the initial value will be true. So these are only the two state variables which are required. And we will also be using React Bootstrap to make the user interface. So just install these two packages using this command. I've already installed this. So after you do this, we will just use the use effect hook from React.js. So this will execute whenever you load the application. And here we will load the actual data. And for this, we will define a function, which I will call this as fetch post. So what this function will do, it will actually fetch the post from the JSON placeholder API and just make this function as async. And right here, I will fetch the post in this variable. So in this function, we will define this try catch block. So if any sort of error take place, we can console log it. And right inside this, await, we will use not a fetch API, we can use Axios. Axios is actually a package we can install. It does the similar job, but you need to require it. So just install this Axios package by using this command. I've already installed it. So once you do this, we can import this module at the very top, Axios from Axios. And again, we need to requiring Bootstrap. So we'll require all the Bootstrap components, the table, spinner, and container component, and the Bootstrap CDN file. This is coming from React Bootstrap, and right here we'll make a simple fetch Axios, and there is contains a get method to make a simple get call to the REST API. So JSON placeholder dot typocode.com/post. So if you directly write this in the browser, you will receive a JSON response which will contain the post. So we are actually getting these posts in a JSON-like structure. So exactly we are doing a simple Axios get call. After we get this data, we'll set this post response.data. So right here, you can console log the response as well in the browser. If you refresh your browser, go to inspect element and console, you will receive this object. If you see, we have the data property which contains 100 rows of data, and each object will have these properties of ID, title, user ID, body. So now we just need to display this data in the browser. We just need to change the set loading to be false. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Initial value will also be false, so just change this from true to false. So now to actually display this, we will wrap everything in the container tag, container element of React Bootstrap. And inside this, we will have this h2 tag. It will simply say that JSON placeholder post. Align it in the center, text center. And if the value of loading is true, in that case, we will show a simple progress bar in the center position. So for this, we're using the spinner component of Bootstrap. So we'll give it an animation of border, and inside this, we will simply show in a paragraph loading. So if the value of loading is false, in that case, we need to show the data, and we'll be showing the data in a table structure, Tableau structure using the table component. Make it striped, bordered, hover, and responsive. So inside this, we will have these three columns. First is the ID, then we have the title, then we have the body of the post. So this data will be, we need to loop through this data. So in the table body tag, we need to loop through inside this JSX. We will use the map function. For each post, we will define this table row tag, give it a key parameter, which will be the ID of the post, post.id. And then we have these three properties in the table data tag. So inside curly bracket, post.id, then we display the post.title, and then we display the body of the post, post.body. So now we have these three properties. So if you refresh your browser, you will see, you will receive this data, and you will actually see the data in the table-like structure. So if you refresh, and you will see exactly 100 posts appearing in the table-like structure. So in this way, you can fetch data from a random user uh, JSON API and display your data inside your React.js application. So it's really easy. We are using Axios library for this, for fetching the actual data coming from the API. And we are displaying it in a tabular structure using Bootstrap. So this is the overall application. Thank you very much for watching this video, and do check out my website as well, freemediatools.com, which contains thousands of free tools regarding audio, video, and image. And I will be seeing you in the next video.